Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin hasn't really moved at all, so a pretty boring weekend. We had a bit of an overnight drop, but that was mainly the case for Ethereum, which is still below that critical support, now resistance possibly, but Bitcoin hasn't really moved. So it was a little bit of a drop, but also here it didn't even break below the previous lows. So also in my last video yesterday, I said, look, a boring weekend again. What you typically expect on a weekend, and the two options that we discussed are still very much likely and still very much up to date. So just to repeat them briefly, and bear in mind today we've got our member live stream in case you're interested in joining. That's typically the case on Sunday 5 p.m. UTC. Today we want to talk about an indicator, the volume profile, VRVP, or other volume profile indicators, how they can be used also together with Elliott Wave, in case you're interested. Yeah, the idea is still that we had our 5-wave move up into the July highs, and then that the A wave of the wave 2 was already complete. The B wave possibly as well, not guaranteed. Still possible that the B wave is still unfolding. And the C wave to the downside here might already be running. That's currently the preferred option. Or if not, then we just get a higher B wave first before we come down in the C wave. So either way, if we already started the C wave, which is currently preferred but not very, very clear, or if we get a bit of a higher B wave and then come down, that's part of the same scenario. It depends really on the relevant resistance levels that we can observe. And let's take a look at them now. So I prefer that this C wave to the downside, so the wave 2 correction consists of 3 waves, A, B, and C. Each of them have clear rules and guidelines that they need to adhere to. It looks like the A wave was already done, so that hasn't changed that assumption. The B wave has probably already finished, but it was very shallow. So I keep the option open that we might get a higher B wave. That is absolutely possible, not a problem. Yeah, these high B waves or higher B waves can happen. It's not even a very high B wave. I mean, red shows here the standard retracement zone for a B wave. Going into this zone is really just doing what a B wave should do. The only reason why I say the B wave is likely already in is because it hit one of the fib levels. The C wave within the B wave reached a Fibonacci extension target as well, and it came down quite impulsive afterwards. So from that point of view, I think it could certainly be in. And because the move down here is very choppy, very corrective, I think we have a good chance that it's already in. But then, you know, that is that can change quickly. It really depends on the fib levels, and it doesn't really change the overall scenario, even if we get a higher B wave. So as long as we stay below 30,240 here, that resistance level, I assume we already started the C wave down here. The C wave is a 5-wave move in which we would have already completed a wave 1. Maybe the wave 2 already completed or still unfolding. It can certainly still unfold. Again, it depends on the 30,240 level. Above 30,240, if we get a sustained break above that level, we assume we are still in the B wave. Yeah? And this is the larger resistance area for wave B. I would then assume it will go into the region between 30,690 and 31,350. And either now or from there, we should expect a C wave to the downside. Bitcoin obviously still ranging, hasn't really moved for many weeks. I mean, yeah, we had a bit of up and down and we fulfilled our waves here. We've been very patient with this move, in that we were waiting for this wave 4 to play out. We were waiting for this wave 5 to play out, and all of that happened, and now we're waiting for this wave 2 to complete. So everything is going according to script pretty much. Of course, you cannot forecast every single small subwave, but nobody is trying to. That's why I always say treat these subwaves, yeah, with suspicion, and they have to be moved from time to time. I show the subwaves. Some analysts don't even bother, just because I want people to learn as well and follow my way of thinking. The problem and the risk with that is that many people who don't understand Elliott Wave think they have to treat the smaller subwaves as predictive, which they clearly are not. But they give you the relevant levels that are relevant for trading, okay? So always try to strive to achieve a level of detail on the chart that shows everything that's needed for trading. I mean, if you go into the micro count, it won't it won't help anyone. And it also won't help with trading, because these lowest degree wave counts, if I went even more detailed, it oftentimes gets invalidated anyway due to the intraday volatility in the crypto market. And also it doesn't give us more clarity. So I think this is a decent resolution, let's say like that, and level of detail. And yeah, from that point of view, I still look at lower eventually. And the 30,240 level will tell us, okay, do we go down directly, which is what I prefer, or do we get a higher B wave and then come down? But they're both really part of the same scenario. Always bear in mind, we are not making the markets, but we are watching what we see, okay, and analyzing what we see. Based on that, we can establish those relevant parameters that can be used for trading. When price then eventually comes into the yellow area, I expect this area to be the launch pad for a third wave rally to 40k plus. But first of all, we need to get a completion of this correction in this yellow box at one of these fib levels typically. And if price came down now, so first of all, it has to break through micro support, structural support here at around 29,560 to confirm we are in this third wave breakdown. And if it comes down now, I'm looking at a potential target for that third wave between 28,375 and 28,700. That would be an ideal target range for this third wave. And then ideally we still get a fourth wave and the fifth wave to complete this overall correction. Now, if Bitcoin does, instead of an ABC, A, B, C, if it does just a WXY, then we had a W here, an X here, and this is a Y wave, A, B, C, and the next low could be the last one. I just mentioned that because also the move that occurred here to the downside was a WXY structure. And because it can be a WXY or an ABC, and the ABC is normally the more common pattern, you typically wait for one more low, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. But I explained many times that Bitcoin likes to do WXYs, and people who don't listen to this, the problem is on their end at the end, right? So you can never say beforehand if it's going to be a WXY or an ABC. You can't. There's no way of doing it. So all I can do is to mention that Bitcoin and crypto, they like to do WXY patterns. In these cases, you do not get that one last low. So for example, here on the Bitcoin chart, we wouldn't get that wave 4 and we wouldn't get that wave 5 because in a WXY, price is going to finish here. So all I can say is to highlight that. That's all I can do really. And then I have to leave that with you, how you make your decisions, okay? Because sometimes people are then disappointed if price turns a bit earlier, but that's part of the game. And what you cannot predict, you have to build into your trading strategy. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you will like the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.